Hi class 3, good morning. Okay, hope you all are fine. So, in previous class I have taught you chapter 9, the Yokai part A. So today I am going to teach or discuss chapter 9, the Yokai about part B. Okay? So far we came to know that there was a temple in Japan haunted by yokai, no? So, and the people of all the elders of Japan, they decided to drive out the yokai from the temple. And who was chosen to drive out the yokai from a temple? Yes, Tashuk was chosen as he was a medicinal doctor, no? He was a medicinal merchant. That's why he was chosen to drive out the yokai from that temple. So what happened? So as when a yokai asked Tasuk with what he used to afraid of, then Tasuk just answered that he was afraid of what? Yellow metal, that is gold. And so when Tasuk answered to a yokai, and yokai also just friendly, he just confessed that he too has a funny fear, and that is what the yokai cannot stand the smell of cooked eggplant. Okay, if you burn eggplant, it is smelling. Okay, that's why that smell could not stand by a yokai. Okay, so by saying this, the yokai disappeared. Okay, from Tasuk. Okay, from the temple. Okay, so what happened? Page number 86. Okay, so at night, at second night, okay, what happened? The next day, at nightfall, the next day, Tasuk went inside the temple again. Okay, which was haunted by a haunted temple. Okay, haunted by a yokai. So holding a huge what? Tight lidded bowl of steaming eggplant, because Tasuk was chosen to drive out a yokai from the temple. That's why, and the yokai told Tasuk that he was afraid of what? Smell of eggplant. That's why Tasuk wanted to drive out a yokai from the temple. That's why he carried a what? Huge tight lidded bowl of steaming eggplant. Okay, so what happened? At midnight, the yokai appeared again. Okay, a yokai came again into that temple and heard a sack of gold. Okay, as Tasuk told a yokai that he was afraid of a yellow metal gold. That's why, as yokai also don't want to go out from the temple, he want to live there. That's why he wanted to make frightened with gold to Tasuk. No, that's why a yokai bought a sack full of gold coins. Okay, and asked Tasuk, now are you scared of this? Okay, by saying this, what happened? Tasuk pretended to be terrified. Okay, Tasuk is very clever. Okay, when Tasuk saw that gold, he pretended to afraid. Okay, and he then what? Reach out for his bowl. Okay, and lifted the lid, letting the smell. As soon as Tasuk saw that yokai had bought a sack full of gold, and he wanted that gold. That's why what did Tasuk did? He reached out his bowl and lifted the lid. Okay, the smell of the cooked eggplant fly freely about. Okay, so what happened? The yokai took one looked at the eggplant and flung himself out of the temple. So as soon as the yokai got the smell of eggplant, he flung himself out of the temple and ran into the garden. Okay, and ran into the garden where he was mysteriously changed into a friendly looking mushroom. Have you seen mushroom? Yes. So many different mushrooms are there. Okay, so some mushroom you can eat, but others it is poisonous also. So don't ever try to eat any mushroom. Okay, so the yokai ran out of the temple into the garden, and there he became what? Friendly looking what? Mushroom. So who was so clever? Yes, Tasuk was so clever that because of his cleverness he could drive out the yokai from the temple. So when people, but he was so clever that he earned a lot of gold also from the yokai, because the yokai left a sack of gold inside the temple and he ran outside the temple into the garden and he became a mushroom. Now he could not take his gold, but all that gold was taken by whom? Tasuk. Yes. So when the villagers saw that the yokai was driven out from the hard dead, the yokai was driven out from the temple, the villagers were so happy and they have won there because they got back their temple. Now they could go to the, now they will able to go to the temple and worship their god. No, that's why they are very happy. What happened is the villagers gave what? Many gifts to Tasuk. Okay, and Tasuk lived that village by becoming very rich person, wealthier and happier man with gold. Okay, with gold and so many, with gold got from the yokai and many gifts he have received from the villagers. So now this mushroom, the mushroom still stands silently in the temple garden. Okay, mushroom was still there in Japan. Okay, that is just beside the or in front of the garden, temple garden. Okay, but no one has tried to eat that mushroom. Why? Because if they eat, what? Yokai might come out again. That's why they are afraid of yokai. That's why they never try to eat that mushroom. Okay, which was just in front of their eyes. Okay, so this is the end of the story. So have you understood the story nicely? Yes. So go through the story nicely. Okay, and this 87 page answer, short question answers. So I have given this answer in your study notes. So please write all the answers in your notebook and study well. Okay, for your upcoming exam. So this is the end of the story. So if you have understood, then enough for today. Okay, so thank you class.